Again, often get the question, what do I expect, what do I get out of a DNS gym course, and why should I do it? I'm going to just show you a couple of little bits what we cover in it, because very often people think, oh, functional training is going to be little silver dumbbells and only floor work. We're going to show you how to do it in some good squats, and the number one thing you get out of the DNS is the world's best core program in the world. So what we see normally when people when talk about core stabilization, people they tense these muscles, and it's all about bracing and tensing. And what we're going to show you instead is how to use the diaphragm, fill this up with intra-abdominal pressure that will support the spine and keep you strong. And that is the whole core stabilization is going to go through. So I'm going to take Kurt, my training partner. I'm going to show you on him how he activates it. Then we're going to have a little short break when we go into the gym. And from there he's going to perform some good squatting. I actually promised him a new PB today if he participates in this. So let's see what happens. So we're back again for a quick part two of this core thing. We've just been talking, and I just said, you know, everybody else, why are you so against planking? And I said, well, planking isn't really as challenging as people make it if you know how to do. So I just said to Kurt, I'm actually going to try to plank with you on my back.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
How much do you weigh?
98 this morning.
Okay. Let's see if an old fellow can do 98 kilos on his back. Whenever you're ready. So next time you're standing there without anything on your back vibrating, go and do a DNS course. Okay, we're going to do now, we're going to just show how to quickly activate a proper good core stabilization pattern for the gym. If you look at Kurt here now, we can see that he's been a chest breather for a long time. You can see the corners of the rib cage stick up a little bit. And I know he is because we actually went through this 3 days ago, so I give him a little bit of a hands up because he's going to do some big lifting today. So you've been practicing for 3 days now? Yep. Good. So if I get him to take, the way you normally do, take a breath in, you can see how the rib cage is going in that way. So the first thing we do is to bring his rib cage this way, straight that way, to line his diaphragm up better. And then I ask you to breathe in and push my hands to the side and out. Just don't have to bring it so heavy, just nice and gently. Beautiful. After he's done that, I still keep his rib cage down. I'll get him to breathe in through the lower abdomen, so I can feel his breath. Breathe in. I feel it's expanding down here. Beautiful. You have done your work. I should also be able to feel it at the back, so if you just let it all go down. And when you have people with a little bit of a lordosis, it is much easier for them, especially people, as soon as they're a bit strong, you get them to hold the legs up, flattens the back, brings the rib cage down because the rectus abdominis and the abdominal wall is pulling it down, and they will find it actually easier with the legs up. So just keep breathing in there. Kurt's case, we're just going to go in and do a maximum lift today, so he's just going to activate as much as possible. Hold that for one single repetition. If they have to perform endurance work with it, it's a little bit of a different program involved, but we're going to cover that later on. So today we're just going to be able to maximize the pressure in here, hold it. I know what you're thinking now, but he's got a belt on. When we're going to talk about core, the thing is that a belt is actually sometimes helping your core, because the diaphragm is going to have something to push up against. So by using a belt,
it's not necessarily going to be a bad thing. It's going to help the diaphragm to get stronger and stronger. The secret is just not to have the belt too tight. If it's too tight, it will stop the diaphragm from coming down. If it is like this, you can actually stick your fingers in. All you just get him to do then is breathe in and just push, and I can feel that my fingers are getting squashed now. And you can check that that happens at the back. I stick my fingers in at the back and breathe in, and it's a really nice big pressure. He's going to do a squat, so I can get him to do the same without the belt first, then with the belt, go down in a squat position and push up against the belt. So you can go down if you want from at the very bottom, yeah. Just go down, squat, hold, and then just breathe into the belt and get that. So that's what we're going to go out and do in the gym now. So you will see us in a little while after we've been out warming up, and we're going to attempt a 250 kilo squat today.
Certainly are.
This is a 10 kilo PB.
Yeah.
What do you?
Go again.
On you. What do you?
Go again.
On you. Awesome.
Hey, baby.